What's up, everyone? Little Bat here, and today I want to present my sub-job method, or the subclass method, of how I'm able to spam Lightbringer and actually build my MP to get my stacks up. And also, if I was low on MP, I would go all the way pretty much back up to full without the MP boost rate. Now, I also want to talk about different little tricks that you could apply to this method. As you can see here, beginning the Rift, if you don't have the MP reduction all the way maxed out, you can go ahead and build up your MP limit gauge beginning without having to worry about using any of your potions up, and then you can get right into combat with all your buffs already going. So first thing we want to do is go ahead and look here. You can see how I got my stats set up on the job. As you can see, I've got my spirit up incredibly good for my subclasses at 448. I do want to push it a little bit higher, but my action ability MP cost, it's over 100%. That's because some of the equipment goes to other sub jobs as well, so there will be some overlapping numbers, but you want to aim for that 100% mark. Same thing with my Lightbringer duration. You can see that it's over 100%. The Soul Shield MP recovery is at 133%. The Soul Shield ally MP recovery, you will get that from the Conjurer or the Arcanist class. That way, whenever you use Lightbringer, you will also give you and your allies more MP, and the Soul Burst is up to 100% as well. Buff duration's at 99.3. I need to adjust my master points just to get that 0.7, but honestly, that's close enough to 100% for doing good. Now, for this method to work, you want to you don't have to stack the Leviathan blessing, but you need to have the Leviathan as your primary blessing. As you can see, going down here, I've got MP cost enchant, mighty strikes, lunatic, lancet. I've got them across the board. Once you get that level 7, I'm going to say, or higher, that you can put all the gear, really all you need is the 1. The only time I recommend more than that is if it's a command ability that costs 2 MP. That's why I have Barrage up just a little bit higher with 2 of them to knock down that cost. And whatever I'm usually maining, as you can see, the buff duration, the only 3 I've got is for Mighty Strikes, Lunatic, and Lancet. Barrage will be nice, and I will need to get that on there. But for now, this is all I've got as far for the Tyrant sub setup. My Hunter has different setup than that, where he has a much extended Barrage, because Barrage does wear down really fast. If you were going to do this, like I said, you only need 1 Leviathan, but I would highly recommend stacking usually the Phoenix gear on your character, as it does offer the highest spirit, and then having that 1 piece of Leviathan. Going down my gear, you can see how I'm doing it. The buff duration, the Lightbringer duration, and the action ability MP cost. Now for the Affinities, you want to make sure that you have 600 Cyclic and 600 Summoner. At least 250 Void. I pushed the 600 Void Knight just so that I have that haste going on. And also, like I said, you want that Conjurer on there, at least just 200. That way you're getting that for the ally Soul Shield buff that's going on. The reason why this works is because that Summoner with the Leviathan is going to help boost that ability, and also every time that you use Lightbringer with the 600 Cyclic with the 600 Summoner combined, it's going to activate and extend all your buffs whenever you do a Lightbringer, meaning that you're going to get all that Soul Shield MP recovery coming to you. You're also going to extend all the buffs that you are currently wearing with that. And if also, like, you got the 600 Breaker, you're going to get that 20 stack built up for all the strength. Now here is a key example of coming into a boss fight, and you can see that I'm using my normal 3 command abilities and just going on him, whatever. Now this is a way you could take advantage of this method right here. You can take your time, go ahead and build up your stacks, making sure I'm topped off on MP. Now what you want to do is, when you're during the boss cinematic, just go to your battle settings, because everything's been refreshed, and right now everything's at a standstill, so nothing's wearing down as long as you're Jack. And see, now I can put on Barrage, Onslaught, and I can buff everything back up where it's full time, and now I'm rocking those 2 additional command abilities as well. And this works really great, especially for a boss rush, because while I'm waiting on the next boss to come out, all I've got to do is go back to my sub job, spam up Lightbringer. That way all my buffs are staying stacked up on me, especially with the Breaker buff. If you got the 400 breaker thing where every time you soul burst something you're doing more damage. You can see I got that 2 stack going on. I can keep it all the way to the top. I've also got the bracer on that's giving me the more break damage buff. And see now, boom, 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 I can chain cancel. Now I've got the 3 stack of onslaught. I'm getting the breaker buff up. I've also got the assassin buff going on and everything else. And if you got that boss rush during that cinematic event, you could keep just changing out 1 or 2 of your command abilities and going back to this method after you bust them up. Just spam your Lightbringer and you can keep them going. You can also do this method in dungeons. Just make sure that you got everything stacked up like you want. Now I can throw barrage on my character, stack everything up, and then just switch back over to whatever else you want to do. Let's say, yep, I think I went to, yeah, summon Tachi, so I can do even more damage now. Make sure everything's all stacked up. Then just go back to my original commands. That way, if I need to or something was to go wrong during the combat, I will immediately go back to my original command abilities and I'm not having to search for them in the middle of a crisis. So yeah, that pretty much just kind of wraps it up how it works. Like I said, you want to make sure that you've got that 600 summoner, the 600 cyclic, at least 250 void knight. Like I said, I prefer the 600. That way you've got haste. It'll make it where you can spam that much faster. And you want that conjurer job on there for the ally soul shield. Make sure you're stacking up your Lightbringer and your buff duration to 100%, because anything that you do on your subclass, whether it's your Lightbringer or the buffs you throw on, when you switch over, those durations carry over to your other job. So on your main class, you never have to worry about Lightbringer duration. You never have to worry about buff duration whatsoever. The only thing you want on your primary class is the improved effect. So like for my duelist, on his actual gear, I'll have the improved effect invisible, but you don't need any of that on your actual sub job. So yeah, I know that a couple y'all in the comments had questions about this. I kind of hope this explains it and that you can kind of get a look at my gear as I was showcasing it and get an understanding of what I'm pushing to get it up so much and how I'm able to spam like this and carry it over. Like a lot of y'all have seen, I carry Tyrant on most of my jobs for this reason, because I've already just got him so set up so well, and for physical damage classes he already works out. I do have a hunter that's set up like this, like I said, especially for the barrage and also to enhance the analyze that they get and everything like that. So hope this helps you out. Have a good one, and I hope to catch you on the next. Thank you.